fucking bullshit. Welcome to the past time. Oh my God. The energy is good. You know what this is. It's a podcast. Now, for those of you who don't know what a podcast is, go on anything and watch a video and you'll see people doing it. You know this one. It's a little niche. Each week we go, well, first of all, Dave and I are the bad boys. We're from the Dollop. Each week we go through a newspaper picked out by from a random date in history, picked out by none other than Dave Anthony, who I believe is wearing a Granny's cardigan. I, Gareth Reynolds, have never seen it, or a Jedi ensemble, and neither has this week's guest, the great Kyle Anderson, who's in slime, it looks like.
Yeah, well, I just figured if I have a green screen background, people can, they can green screen me into like January 6th or whatever.
We are strongly encouraging everyone on our Patreon or anywhere who's watching this or consuming it, please do some January 6th photoshopping with Kyle back there.
Yeah.
As soon as you can, Kyle, please put him at January 6th.
Kyle, you used to have the horns and the fur.
Yeah, you're elk boy.
Coat.
Yeah, I was his sidekick, Elk Boy. I was slightly out of most of the pictures. He
really stole the thunder.
Yeah, he's kind of, you know what I mean? We were a joint venture, and then I kind of feel like he sort of was like QAnon Shaman and Elk Boy could have been a good branding.
Well, a lot of people took staplers and stuff that day, but what I loved about the Elk Shaman was that he walked in there and said, "Where's the thunder?" Because boy, howdy, did he steal it. Kyle, people could go on your YouTube, Kyle Anderson.
Yeah, Kyle Anderson Comedy on YouTube. I make documentaries on there.
You've made some great documentaries.
Yes, you have.
What's your favorite? And then I'll tell you mine.
Well, I have a lot of them I made on there. Probably my favorite one is about Dow, which is this like insane. Basically, there's this Russian filmmaker who convinced a Russian oligarch to give him like a limitless budget and shoot for 7 years.
Oh my God, I haven't seen this one.
Everybody was like method acting for 7 years, and he got like real ex-KGB to play the KGB. So like if you had your iPhone out, you got like thrown in like the jail on set, and like it became like this like Stanford prison experiment. And then there's 7 movies made out of it. And they're pretty good. Oh my
God.
Like they're really, the DP's incredible. So they're amazing.
Part of me is like, should I not watch this? And do you want to do an episode on it, Dave, if we ever go to Russia?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It's in the Ukraine.
You also self-ignited your own industry when you made the Crystalia Problem. Again, Dave and I, he's a friend of show.
Friend of show.
Yeah. So we don't actually like what you did to our boy. But
I don't. I'm actually not a fan of his comedy, but I'm a huge fan of his offstage work, if that makes sense.
Well,
I'm a fan of his Snapchat.
I got exactly. I got the tattoo around here somewhere on my neck. He didn't even ask me to, but I just of the ladies who had it, I wanted to get.
How funny would it be if I got the same neck tattoo he got this week?
Here's what you do.
That would be so bizarre.
I'm getting delightful on my neck. You know what I mean?
You literally, Kyle. This is what I would love for you. Whatever he puts out, you spoof it word for word and just do it a week later. So every clip that comes out, everything he has, you pretend you have a kid. Every post, just live in a Dalia wormhole a week behind. Anyway, he's friend of the show, so we don't want to get
Life slips.
He's a friend of the show.
He loves it when we rib him about all of his sexual proclivities, crimes. People call them crimes, but
I was gonna wear my Brendan Schaub hoodie. On the pod.
Tell Dave when I dropped off. Tell Dave when I dropped off at your house yesterday.
Oh my God! So the wrap gift for our movie, fucking Gareth comes over and brings me a whiskey decanter, and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing.
A decanter, and he's like, oh my God, a decanter.
That's so nice. And then he's like, pull it out, buddy. Fucking pull it out. And I pull it out. It's Bill Maher's podcast, Club Random. It's a Club Random whiskey decanter with a matching whiskey glass. And I came in and I like started moving my wedding pictures out of the way and shit. I'm like, this goes here.
We got it. Now this house is a Club Random house.
Yeah. My wife is like, okay, I guess.
Yeah. By the way, Club Random House did the Dollop book. Anyway, Kyle, here's what we do here. I know you've never listened to the show. You've made that very clear online. We're going to guess the year that this paper could be from. Now, Dave will make it seem like you win no matter what, but you're going to guess first. Could be 1600s, could be 2004. Okay? But it's probably going to be in the middle there. You take a guess first, then I'll guess. Whoever's closer gets to sleep at Dave's house.
for 2 years.
For 2 years, you get to live with Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with one of my favorite years in cinema in movies, 1999.
Oh, you're out of your mind. You never have listened to this podcast. Not going to be 1990. I'm about to win this motherfucker.
Is it the worst thing about this podcast that like any of the stories you cover could be from like 1680 or like this week?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we talk about it all the time where we're like, it's like that joke is honestly where like every time I make it, I'm like, I'll do it one more time. Hey, Dave, times were very different back then. I'm going to guess the year is 1894.
Oh my God. Kyle, so close. Kyle wins. It is 1893.
Shut the fuck up. Is it 1893?
Is that the closest you've ever gotten?
Yeah, it's
No, I've gotten it
1893.
right before, and Dave still said the guess was right.
Well, the vibes are often off.
Shut up with the vibes. You are Dalia.
A year. That's impressive.
It's just
Out of all of them that there are.
It's a lot of them too. If you look it up.
This is the Havana Press, Havana, Kansas.
By the way, to make a good cigar, you got to do the Havana Press.
The Havana Press is my wrestling finisher move.
Hey, the Havana Press. That's what the Cuban Bulls did.
Oh my God, the Cuban Bull! He's about to hit the Havana Press! There are bodies everywhere!
He's literally eating a guy's face. Jesus Christ!
Is he allowed to do that? It's wrestling, buddy.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
The ref has his back turned for some reason. He's literally eating his brains out.
All right, this first story is really long, but I had no idea about this, and it's crazy. A terrible disaster. Collapse of the old Ford Theater in Washington.
Oh.
Ford's historic old theater, the building in which Abraham Lincoln was assassinated.
That theater was like, we also still do plays.
It's like terrible tragedy. Theater turned into comedy club.
Nobody could thought it could go this dark. Which has been used by the government for many years as part of the Office of the Surgeon General of the Army.
Sure.
I mean,
wait. So
weird.
the place he got shot was then turned into like the theater was turned into an office for the Surgeon General?
Yeah, because I'm sure nobody wanted to go to the theater after that.
Oh, I'd do.
So
I'd book it.
Yeah. So
100%.
That's the difference between then and now. Is now everyone would be like, I got to make a TikTok where the president got capped, dude. If you're not making content, if that place isn't on fucking Peer Space to rent out hourly, dude.
Oh, what I'd do is I'd like sign the DocuSign and then be like, oh wait, is that where Lincoln got shot? Oh shit! No wonder the numbers suck. I just heard it was a 5-hour drive from Baltimore. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm doing a photo shoot with this girl. We're gonna do one of those ones where there is like a bath of milk. We're doing it where Lincoln got shot. It's gonna be sick.
TikToking where Lincoln got shot.
Poof. We're shooting a rap video. The budget's $300, but we got the place that Lincoln got shot.
We got the booth where Lincoln got shot. We got the booth where Lincoln got shot up there.
It's extra for the booth.
Yeah. That's the guy who runs it now.
Yeah. Are you John Wilkes Booth in a mustache?
Or he's just
no.
He's super cool. I mean, I guess you guys can use the booth. You guys can do it.
Oh boy.
Whose dogs?
My dogs. So
Male
neighbor,
carrier.
No, the neighbor's lawn guys here. Hold on, let me deal with this.
Neighbor's lawn guys here sounds like a porn.
Yeah. Dave's about to go out and get his dick sucked.
If he fell, Dave almost fell. What if Dave? That would be amazing. If Dave fell and we were
600 golden doodles come in the room.
Yeah, but if Dave fell and passed out, and you and I had to figure out a way to get the authorities to Dave's place when Dave slipped in his hallway on a Riverside record.
Are you guys laughing at because I have a fake leg?
A peg leg?
Yeah, I have a
You're
peg
not allowed
leg.
to say that anymore.
I have
Peg leg is not PC.
Yeah, I mean, but I have a peg
Kyle.
leg. In
There's
the
a pirate who's
90s,
like, he's not very good to say.
It's not a peg leg. She's a wooden limb.
The parrot's like, it's outdated.
all right, back to the story.
Okay.
Which has been used by the government for many years as part of the Office of the Surgeon General of the Army, collapsed yesterday morning shortly after 9:30 o'clock. Nobody says it like that.
Nope, not okay. 100%
Nobody says 9:30
not how you
o'clock.
do it. I am honestly going to start using that. If someone's like, what time is it? 10:30 o'clock?
Oh, you gotta hit Gareth in the back of the head with a shoe again. He's doing it again.
11:45 o'clock?
Oh, get the shoe. He's all fucked up.
Noon o'clock?
Oh, God, we need the shoe. Where is it?
With a terrible result in loss of life and injury, at least 24 persons were killed and scores injured. I mean, that's impressive.
Scores injured.
That's a lot of. The building stood on 10th Street. Okay, who cares? It had been condemned 3 times. The first, then it's not condemned if there's still people inside.
Well, I mean, this is America. This is America. Like someone comes in, like some guy's like, yeah, this is all going to collapse. And they're like, all right, cool. We're not going to do anything.
All right, scores of us about to head in there, though. You got a problem with that?
Nah, that should be fine. Come on, guys, let's go.
You guys are worried about the collapsing. A president was shot in there.
Scores of us.
Yeah, it's really like, you remember when the dude from Fast and the Furious died? Everybody was like, R.I.P.
Paul
him.
Walker.
Yeah, R.I.P. Paul Walker and the other dude in the car.
Yeah,
That's how I
the
feel
other
about
guy.
this place.
That is, you don't want to ever be like, that's why I won't ever get in the car with a movie star.
Right. You can't be the third most famous person who dies in a
The
wreck.
idea that it's like Paul Walker, his best friend, and a third.
It has been condemned 3 times. The first years ago, some claim as many as 15 or 20, but had been repaired, propped up, and renovated from year to year.
Okay.
When it was condemned by Colonel Rogers of the War Department in 1880, so that's 13 years ago.
So
Yeah.
also jobs like the War Department, that like people condemning buildings that like that job isn't even a thing anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
he
not
condemned
good.
it on Signal. Not a lot of people know that.
Can we get Syria to think somehow that they paid us to condemn it?
And the government then promptly moved out its medical museum, which was a great
That
museum.
must have been a house of horrors.
The medical museum was in there?
Yeah, where else
Just
would you
some
put
guy
it?
carrying a brain, just like, sorry, we got evicted. Is that a brain?
This is my wife.
Yeah. This is all that remains of my wife. He's got lungs slung over his shoulder. Excuse me, scores, pardon, scores.
It started because there was just blood and bandages on the floor, and they're like, well, what the fuck do we do with this?
Well, we either clean it or we make it a museum.
This place has got to be really shitty if theater kids won't even be in here. If you can't get a group of theater kids to do a musical inside a place, it is
no.
fucked up.
It's
right.
fucked up.
Look, we're 8 appendages away from this being a museum, kind of.
How are we going to get all these bodies out of here? Well, you know.
Well, now, hold on.
If you turn this into one of them bodies exhibits.
We got a bunch of lemons, and you're like, what are we going to drink? I got an idea.
Do we still got the Lincoln body, or is that out of there?
There's some brain we could chip off the wall.
Have you guys ever seen the bodies exhibit? Like the one that they toured
Yeah,
around?
absolutely.
No.
I saw it like when I was 14, and I was like, why'd that happen?
Yeah,
Just what I always wanted to know. What was it like if I was paging through a body, like a book? Oh, my God.
I also saw it at like
It honestly
13.
looks like you're at like a Morton's, and you're like, that's a nice marbled ribeye.
but it's just the cross section of a dick.
Dude. There is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That guy, that was like the guy was like, hey, what do you say we maybe also do that with a big dick? People are like, Trevor, can we talk to you over here for a second?
Well, and
I already did it.
It's come out.
There you go. It's already decoupaged.
It's come out that like not all of those people volunteered also.
Oh,
What are they?
God. Oh, my God. Of course they didn't.
Some of them did, but a lot
Some of them just signed up for 23andMe.
a lot of them were like, "This is the line for dine in, right?"
But also, like, can you imagine figuring that out? Like, you're at the fucking place and you just like look, you're like, hey, is this me? Or does this look a lot like Kevin? I don't think he said yeah to this.
That's definitely the cross section of Kevin's dick if I ever seen it.
Well, look, right in the middle of his dick, I always thought it looked like
You can count the rings. It's his exact age.
38.
How many dudes just missing like Kevin is missing, but would be 38 rings deep?
Excuse me, there'll be no trying to figure out who it is. Keep moving.
We've got to bring it back.
Page by page.
Hey, I brought my own slice of a dick. Is that?
All right, this guy's here again. Sir, can we talk to you over here? We've asked you to.
Do you want to see it? Because
No, we're not like a gallery.
Okay,
Yeah,
don't worry,
I
Dave.
gotta-
You get caught, I've got the real one. Get caught with the decoy.
What's going on over there?
Shh, don't worry. This guy's got it. Security, get this guy.
Yeah,
He's
we know.
suspicious, not me.
That's a weird jacket you have on.
just walking around in there? Hey, buddy, you like that one? Check out this one.
By the way, how fucking begging for a Night of the Museum ripoff. That fucking installation.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
28
like the
days
security
later
guard.
meets
And it's
Night
just
at the
like
Museum.
a 19th of a guy like, hi.
Just
Dude,
draws
walking
the
around.
night watchman in.
Yeah.
Let me out.
I was murdered. I know where there's treasure.
And then he takes him over to another slice of dick. There it is.
We named him Treasure.
He was a stripper.
Some of us were scientists, but most of us were strippers. It's the final strip.
Is there any way I can see like a more cut up vagina? I mean, it's by definition, it's kind of what these dicks are. Anyway, I gotta go.
Okay, so moved out of its medic museum, they're stored and exhibited, but the caution then displayed extended only to the exhibits, and the building had since been kept crowded with clerks despite successive condemnation. So they were like they
thought
condemned
the
it,
note
and
was
they
bring more
moved.
people in.
Well, they moved out the museum, and then they're just like, "But we'll have employees in here instead."
They're like, yeah, no, the museum was not what we were worried about. Okay, we replaced all the exhibits with humans.
It's very good to be like, okay, we got to get the important shit out of here, like the vats of old brains. Just put some like workers in here. Those don't matter.
Yes,
Scores of
A lot.
workers.
Okay, guess how many workers?
Oh,
Jesus
fuck.
Christ.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that you're saying guess makes me upset. So I'll guess. I mean, it's a theater. It's like, how much shit could you do?
I'm setting up my
Right.
typewriter up in the booth.
Yeah,
They're
like
all-
what?
Yeah, where are they working and what are
Not
they
Amazon.
doing?
I'm gonna guess just to not overguess it. The thing where I say 1,000 and you're like 120, asshole. I'm gonna say 48.
It's 475.
What the fuck?
What in the fuck are they doing?
What are they doing?
How is the setup?
This is awesome.
It's an
I don't
open
know.
space work situation.
We don't
Yeah, I
have
don't know
computers yet, so together we're just one big computer.
We're each in charge of a letter. I that is shocking.
Shocking.
Like that if there was a play and that was that many people there, you'd
Right?
be like, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's sold out.
Yeah.
There were 475 persons, mostly government clerks, employed in the building, and near all of those
They
were
got
at
doged.
work. were at work when the building fell. They did get doged. Yeah.
They got doged the old-fashioned way.
You're telling me 500 people got collapsed in the building where Lincoln got shot, and we're still calling it the building where Lincoln got shot?
Yes, I know.
Paul Walker, hello.
Yeah. But one guy frees the slaves.
They should put Lincoln's brain in that that exhibit. Here you go.
It's got the bullet in it still.
Yeah.
An excavation for an electric light plant was being made in the cellar of the structure, and according to the best information obtainable, the workmen this morning had dug beneath the foundation supports in the front of the building. So they're doing work on
this is what I was going to say, is the building is now 3 times condemned, and they're like, what if we got rid of all the ground under it?
But you also, I want to see Jesse Ventura break this one down. It's a controlled demolition.
I like to imagine the whole place is just like, it's like shaking back and forth, and they're like, I think up is bad, but down could work.
Honestly, when it first got said, I was like, you can't take a building down from down up. Not how it works. You ever seen Loose Change?
I mean, they're literally, it's a condemned building, and someone's like, what if we put an electric light plant underneath it?
Yeah, let's start digging while everyone's here.
What if we fill it with people, then it can't topple over because it's so full of people?
They're like weights.
Yeah. What's cheap and takes up space?
Meanwhile, the cast of Midsummer's like, can you keep it down? So here's what we're doing.
There's 4. The whole building is toppling over, and they're all like, Jellicle cats.
Jellicle cats.
Okay, so...
Mustapha His magic couldn't even get him out of this one.
So... the workmen this morning had dug beneath the foundation supports in the front of the building, weakening them to such an extent that the walls gave way before they could be jacked.
It sounds like a come-and-go rest stop.
Yeah, you get in the great cast party, you could get jacked, too.
You will also get jacked.
This explanation of the cause of the accident is the only one advanced, but it seems somewhat strange in view of the fact that the top floor gave way first.
See?
There's 3 stories.
Big
it's a
conspiracy theory where they're all like playing the video back. They're like, the pancake
A building
effect
doesn't fall like that.
doesn't work. Yeah, they're loose changing this.
Yeah, they are loose changing this. Yeah. Men who were in the building say the crash came without warning. Those on the top floor were suddenly precipitated to the floor below.
Precipitated is the best way of saying that they fell to their deaths.
Yeah, turned to mulch.
Another one gone from precipitating.
We lost 700 today to precipitation.
And the weight of the falling timber and furniture carried the second and first floors down.
The furniture.
The idea that they're like, you know what it really was? I think it was the digging plus the furniture.
It was the incessant digging below the foundation and all those top floor couches.
Where I was telling everybody we didn't need 48 bookshelves on top of 400 people in the shambling, thrice destroyed building that we're digging out from under. But at least we got the brain vat out of there.
Some guy comes out of the rubble just holding a slice of dick.
We could rebuild. We have enough.
It's the one the prophecy spoke of. Kevin?
The insecurity of the building had been repeatedly reported for a long time past. Whenever a heavily loaded wagon has gone by the building, seemed to sway as the clerks described the sensation.
That's fucking crazy.
Oh my God, what are they doing in this building?
Literally, it's moving when people like breathe against it.
Yeah, a wagon. Okay, your first day at work, and you're like, is it swaying? It's probably a heavy wagon. When they go by, it's pretty bad.
Also, do you know how fast a wagon goes?
Oh my God. It'll be over in an hour.
When the first rumbling warning of the approaching collapse came, the clerks on the third floor, to the number of 80, rushed to the windows and jumped for the roof of an annex and escaped.
Imagine seeing. Hey, what are you guys doing?
Dude.
I've been here 3 days. Is it just me or those guys just jump out of the window?
Even better, you're just like, you're in the saloon, you're just like washing a mug, you know, you look out the window and you see like World War Z 80 clerks parkouring out of a window. It looks like they're all fucking chasing Jason Bourne.
None of those who escaped injury could tell when the floors first gave way. To the occupants of each floor, there was but one crash heard, and instantly the whole building was filled with blinding lime dust.
What the fuck?
Well, we use it to build in case somebody comes in, they want to take over the building, we'll destroy it, we'll blind them with lime dust.
Lime dust.
We booby trap. You gotta think these things through when you build.
It's like a Sprite 911.
Running through all the stories and in the middle of the building was a light wall 10 feet or more long and nearly as wide. The fatal area was in front of this, leaving a space of 6 or 7 feet. The back part of the building, containing more than half of the floor space, remained intact. So
I'm going to be honest, the fact that they're still investigating past the obvious.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
The fact that they've been
3
like,
times.
there was also a light wall. It's like, I think there was a lot of issues, dude.
Yeah. It was all those Ottomans.
Okay, when did this happen, though? Because this is dated June 10th. So this paper is June 16th.
Okay, so it's recent.
So it happened a week ago. So now here's a follow-up a couple days later on June 13th. Ainsworth denounced. Messengers of Colonel Ainsworth told the clerks with bated breath that it was the colonel's orders that the clerks walk softly and go up and down the stairs on tiptoe.
Oh, my God. I mean, it's like a haunted house.
He goes, look, we could fix the place. Anybody could fix a building, but my staff knows how to lose weight when they need it.
When they're all dead, I told them not to walk so heel heavy. They were asking for it.
This should be like the first thing that is read to people who are thinking about maybe unionizing.
Yes. Without question.
I was literally going to be like, hey, you guys know how we're getting rid of OSHA right now? You know how that rules?
Exactly right.
Hey, guys, walk softly into that great second story.
Oh, my God.
The building was known to all of the clerks as the Death Trap.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And not because of Lincoln. This fucking building. Imagine having where the president got shot and being like, I think we can out-tragedy that.
Oh, my God.
But their bread and butter depended on their work there, so they could do nothing.
There'll be no butter.
Union.
There'll be no butter. And there's a bread tax.
Such was the sensational testimony given yesterday before the coroner's jury investigating the Ford's Theater disaster last Friday by Smith Thompson, one of the clerks who had escaped the disaster. Smith Thompson, the clerk who had denounced Colonel Ainsworth at the relief meeting Friday and had given the sensational testimony above, said he had been a civil engineer.
Wow.
Oh my God, there were civil engineers in the fucking building.
And they're like, hey, this is real bad. What do you know? Like everything.
This guy goes, I'm a civil engineer. They go, what? He goes, it's a job we invented 6 days ago when the building got destroyed.
Every day he went below stairs and watched the progress of the excavation.
Oh.
He saw no pillars or props used in holding up the first floor. They're excavating without propping it up.
You don't need that, though. All right. Sky is falling, Chicken Little. Dave, let me tell you a thing or two. You don't need those. Beams are overrated.
They're like trying to dig it out with like Minecraft logic. Where they're like, it'll just stay in place. And take out everything underneath.
I'm telling you, it's going to work. I watch my kid do this a bunch.
He does it all the fucking time. He's a civil engineer.
As they're digging, how come they never put schools on mines? Hey, would you keep digging and shut the fuck up? You're right.
Our work depends on us being here. Shut the fuck up.
Fuck.
The one stairway was not sufficient for the rapid exit of one half the clerks in safety.
No
In
fucking
going down-
shit.
Guys, flee on your tippy toes. Flee on your tippy toes.
In going down the stairway, he heard clerks call out, "Take care, the stairs are unsafe." This is insane. This is insane.
It's very rare when a paper starts off with a banger and it has the length it deserves, but
Oh
this
my
is
God.
one that's doing it right.
Dude,
This is
this is
incredible.
also, this colonel was like, I mean, if anything does happen, they'll at least all die.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then when
right,
that guy
yeah.
made it
The
to
wis-
trial, he was like, shit. I knew we should have made the stairs worse.
Yeah. He's just sitting there.
He's doing like the Home Alone stuff. He's putting like tar and like nails on the stairs. He's
We
heating up the
believe
doorknobs.
that the colonel tried to home alone my client. He's just sitting there. I don't know what the hell. How the hell does this guy even know about that?
The
The
judge,
door handles were hot. My client's head was burned from a torch.
is your client currently tying a string to a paint can?
Huh?
Uh,
Your Honor, I bet you can't catch me. I'm all the way up here. Colonel, sit down.
Now, for the survivors, why were the stairs iced so they slid as they came out of the building?
Wanted to get him down as fast as possible. That was the same with the mini cars at the base of the stairway. I was hoping that would help scoot him along, huh? You understand?
Okay. At this stage in Mr. Thompson's testimony, there was a
Holy
strange
fuck.
There was a strange scene illustrating the bitter feelings against Colonel Ainsworth. A majority of the spectators present were clerks who had been employed in the old theater building. And Mr. Warner,
He
one of
hated
the
that.
They're all like, it's like a Simpsons gag. They all have like ice packs and like arm casts on, and they're like
Colonel's
grumbling.
just sitting there. Oh, a lot of you pulled through, huh? That's good.
Mr. Warner, one of the jurists, asked the witness what was the feeling of the clerks in the theater building toward their superior officer, Colonel Ainsworth. Thompson answered, quote, "That of abject fear."
Well, that's nice.
It was like the building was trying to eat us. It was terrifying. We all thought it had come alive.
Like if the building became a man. Well, that's nice. That's nice.
The applause came from a portion of the room where most of the clerks were sitting. And then
And the
everyone
colonel
clapped.
gets up and like waves his hat. Thank you, boys. That's very nice. That's very nice.
You guys hear I'm killing. I'm going to go and kill Tony.
Colonel Ainsworth grew red, and the coroner lectured the offenders. Don't you be clapping for that. He's telling the truth.
He's telling back the hecklers.
The letter from Secretary Lamont was read, giving assurance that no clerk need fear dismissal on account of his testimony. At the
Well, that's bad for me.
Yeah, you guys don't need to fear dismissal. If you do testify, though, we are going to make you go work in a new place we're calling the Sweat Trap. And this place is really fun. It's right at the center of the earth.
It's where Washington lived.
At the afternoon session, a well-dressed man shaking his fist in Colonel Ainsworth's face shouted, quote, "You murdered my brother and you shan't sit there intimidating these witnesses."
And you ain't shanked.
Shan't. And you shan't.
Shan't.
The man was Charles Barnes, whose brother
The man was
a-
Charles Barkley.
whose
And he
brother
invented
was a victim.
basketball.
Boy, the idea that the colonel was probably there. He was like, I don't think I should have come to this.
This is a bad call.
The
I thought
energy
you guys,
is pretty
I
bad.
thought you guys liked me.
He's just sitting there hoping that the courtroom collapses. That'd be awesome. That'd really bail me the fuck out.
He's got some guys digging down below. He's like, "Come on, boys, get going.
Come on,
on."
guys.
Looking at his watch. God, they
Bang
said
that
noon.
gavel harder, Your Honor. I can't even hear it over here. Throw
Your
it
Honor,
at the foundation.
Your Honor, as a gift, I give you 40 bookshelves.
Your Honor, I suggest we all jump as hard as we can. Please, Your Honor.
He goes to like testify for himself. He's like, "Nah, I am just a simple stop. Southern lawyer. Stop.
I'm a regular man who they call me the jackhammer. They call me jackhammer. What the fuck? Everyone run up and down the stairs. Let's move these couches up to the top of the building.
That don't feel like justice."
That's how we avenge the deaths of these workers. Colonel, sit down.
So did we get a number on how many people died?
I think, let's see.
Scores.
After the uproar, thus
24 or
occasioned, had
something?
quieted. It was 24 so far, but I bet it's more. After the uproar, thus occasioned, had quieted, Mr. Davis, representing Colonel Ainsworth, started to speak when a dozen excited department clerks rose to their feet and shouted for him to sit down. The lieutenant of police. Shut up, you fucking piece of shit!
Order.
Except everyone's like, "You shan't speak any further."
The lieutenant of police endeavored to quiet the outbreak, but his voice was ineffectual. Soon, nearly every clerk present who had been employed in the old theater was on his feet shouting, "Sit down, shut your mouth!" But finally, someone who was frenzied cried, "Hang him!" Yes.
I like that they hear that guy. He's like, let that guy speak. He should be hanged. Never mind. Not him. Never mind.
Men sprang forward at this time, and it looked as if harm would come to Colonel Ainsworth. Some of the clerks were shaking their fists over his head, and others were pushing forward as if they wished to tear him to pieces. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Juror
awesome.
Warner.
That's what kind of like, there's situations where it's like, do we need a trial or can we just give the guys who survived the building 20 minutes with him?
Let's have a
Agree.
trial after we kill him.
That really should just, I mean, with the way it's going. The problem is, though, they would be like, we use it rarely, like for Luigi Mangione.
Right.
No.
Right.
Who's going to get the death penalty, according to Pam Bondi, by the way?
Juror Warner finally managed to quiet the people, and the deputy coroner adjourned the inquest. Okay, do you want to know how many didn't make it? Let's see. It killed
Welcome
20
back to everybody's favorite American game show. How many didn't make it? Gareth, you're playing today. How many do you think did escape this horrible fate of civil engineering?
Well, boy, it seems like that whole place was real shaky, and they kept getting scores and scores. I'm going to go with 112, Todd.
It wasn't. It was only 22.
Oh, wow. Oh, lovely. That's nothing.
So you know what? I say to make an omelet. You know,
Yeah.
That's
you gotta
right.
break a few eggs.
Yeah.
Think about all the good clerking that happened, though. Nobody's
Yeah.
talking about.
Yep. Yeah.
They were able to reupholster the chairs with all the money they saved. You like that crown molding? That was built on the backs of those people.
It also fell onto the backs of the same people who built it.
It probably killed a couple of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but it's actually.
I wonder what happened to Colonel Ainsley, is his name?
22 clerks and injuring 68.
Knowing how this stuff works, it's like Colonel Ainsley went on to become the king of the world.
Well, no, he totally got away with it.
Of course.
They said, I read it yesterday, but they said there wasn't enough like evidence to prove that he knew it was. Yeah, he walked.
Of
course
Called
he
it the death trap, and he's like,
They
I
called
had
the death
no
trap.
clue.
Holy fuck. I'm looking at a picture of it. It is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really.
It looks like a fire burned it.
Yeah, I mean, great. Good work, everybody. Yeah, they knew it was a death trap. The guy gets away with it. Of course, it's America. This guy always gets away with it.
Of course. Well, what are you going to do? Change your policy and go to work?
I love that this guy is also just like, they probably let him. They were like, you know what? We tried to pin this on him. I feel bad. Let's make him in the general of buildings. Like, it's always like he's going to be promoted exactly into what he should not fucking do.
Of course, the workers were black guys in the basement, and one of them told the Evening Star that he was concerned about the building's safety just one day before. Quote, I told my employer yesterday that the archway would fall. For every time anyone walked over the floor, it would bend. I tell you, I was scared, and I got out there as quick as I could. Wow. The fly was bending, and they just kept fucking.
This reminds me of my buddy. My buddy, when I lived in
Christ.
Vegas, used to live in this terrible apartment right by the airport, and it was so cheap that the floor in the hall. He lived on the second floor. The hallway floor would actually bend, like when you walked across
You
it.
want that though. You guys are freaking. You want that. You want a trampoline. I think if you're the real estate guy, you're like, and these floors are all minorly trampolined. You'll love that. Bouncing, very Tom Hanks, very big.
Yeah, it's a bouncy house, and it's going to cost a little bit more.
Yeah.
Somebody in his building would tag stuff that was like way too cheap. Like literally doors would start like hanging off their hinges and stuff.
Oh my God.
And he would tag stuff in the building with this cockroach and write La Cucaracha. And he was like a vigilante of the building.
I feel like you've either told me this or I've heard this, or it's just so relatable that I'm like, yeah, I've heard
I may
of
have told you about La Cucaracha.
That is so fucking crazy.
Okay, the next story is amazing because it keeps up with the theme. Priceless laces lost. A startling disclosure was made at the World's Fairgrounds last evening when the priceless laces sent here by Queen Margaret of Italy were unpacked. While the laces were being taken out of their case and each piece counted, it was found that 30 pieces of lace were missing.
A lace case. By the way, the idea that the police have to open a case about lace stolen from a case. It's a classic case of a lace case.
Oh
Lace
my
closed.
God.
I mean, fuck. This is going to
Not
be a
that
long
case.
night.
I just can't believe this is on the same page. Like,
Well, that's the thing is like the people who are like, okay, so we're going to split up the work here at the precinct today. We're going to need half you guys on the 22 people died in a big building, and the other half, there's these laces.
A queen's missing her cloth.
Yeah.
boss, can I get on that lace case? Because, oh God.
One
I
is
wanna get that
one is
son of
a
a
real
bitch.
case,
I
and
wanted
the
to
other
pay.
one is like a case for like a cartoon egg to solve. This is a job for Humpty Dumpty.
Nothing grinds my gears more than when an affluent woman's fabric is missing.
Cablegrams were immediately sent to Rome, appraising the queen of her great loss.
Wait. Say that again? What did you just say?
Cablegrams were immediately sent to Rome, appraising the queen of her great loss.
Oh, no. Who is going to break the bad news to her? This is not good. What is it about all those people who died in the theater where the president got shot in the back of his head? No, it's even worse.
Dude,
what is she going to wear?
If you were in Italy and all you heard was like, okay, the town that we sent my laces to, they got stolen. The president got shot there. Like, America's over, I guess.
It's called Detroit, the country. But also, you got to. It's so fucking funny to steal lace, and then like it's probably just some dudes who are like, "Hey, where do you pawn lace?" Now what?
It's so much worse. You know, it's so much worse. There's one guy who's like, dude, I fuck Italy, dude. That was the worst fettuccine Alfredo I've ever fucking had.
I'll show
That
that.
was awful, dude.
It's coming out of me like I didn't even eat it.
Call me the pasta maker.
Wow, it's like a forever pasta. You could just keep eating it over and over.
Hey, guys, can you stop talking over there for a little bit? He's looking out the window.
Yeah, no, for
Forever
sure.
pasta.
No, for sure.
Forever
Yeah.
pasta.
Please stop eating it out of yourself. Call me the Olive Garden, because I'm never ending. Hey, Noodles. Why do they call you that, by the way? Hey, you don't want to know.
An effort was made to keep the discovery a secret, but customs officers divulged the startling news.
So,
Well,
so
who
no,
gives
I
a
love
shit?
that everybody was
gives
like,
a shit?
we should just lie, right? We don't want to have to deal with this.
Yeah, I will betray my oath to let the world know.
A wife seeks to convict her husband.
Good luck,
Miss-
bitch. Hard today,
This is
impossible.
good.
Back then, they
Yeah.
were like, "Can you imagine?"
Well, throw her in water. If she doesn't drown, she might have a case.
And she's dead.
They were like,
Yeah.
"Did you try dragging her from a horse? That usually fixes mine."
So strange.
Miss William
Jesus
Beckwith
Christ.
arrived from Denver last night and is now at work securing evidence to convict her husband of complicity in a big bank robbery in that city in 1891. Beckwith is serving a term in the Kansas penitentiary for stealing a bicycle at Leavenworth a few months ago, and Miss Beckwith is to get $200 if she convicts her husband. All right.
There's a lot going on there, but yes, it does seem strange to be able to bring charges against your husband, and when the charges are against the bank.
And then you get money for, well, right, there's obviously a reward out, and so but he's already in jail for stealing.
Well, she's
he's
Skylar from Breaking Badding him. She's fucking
Yes,
him.
she is. Thank you.
He pulled this shit off. She knows about it, and she's holding it over his head. She's probably fucking Ted right now. You know what I mean?
You know what? We should remake Breaking Bad all from Skylar's perspective and be like, you know what? We all made fun of her for being kind of annoying, but this is crazy.
Yeah, it's Breaking Bad from Timon and Pumbaa's point of view. Breaking Bad 1.5. That's what we'll call it. That's good, Gareth. I'm writing that down. Hey, I got to get off the call. I actually have
Delete it. It's not a call. It's a What are you talking about?
Oh, fuck.
Kyle.
Fuck.
This was a weird
Other
pitch
people can
meeting.
hear this?
Yes.
No.
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 I'm ruined.
This is just a little part under news brevities.
Oh my God.
They're the soul of news wit, Gareth.
Honestly, news brevities.
Brevities, fuck off.
A strange wild human covered with long woolly hair has been discovered near Paducah, Kentucky.
Headline. I'm sorry. We're talking about this lady's mad at her husband over $200 or something.
Well, honestly,
put this ahead of the fucking theater.
Completely agree. I completely agree.
Caveman discovered.
Give me an amuse-bouche before talking about how the building structure just completely collapsed because of incompetence at the top. Start with we found a woolly man in Kentucky.
Dude, the Kentucky woolly man.
Woolly boy.
That's like a country music star
The
who walks
Kentucky
off of
woolly
SNL.
boy. He's on. I'm like, this guy has 4 million followers on TikTok. All he does is spin.
Anthony Scholl, a merchant tailor.
Is this the story of how the shawl got created?
Yeah. Scholl. Anton Scholl, a merchant tailor at Odell, drank a half gallon of whiskey and died after suffering great agony.
This is a separate story.
Yeah. This isn't how. Okay, I thought you were describing how he found the cave.
Oh, you thought we were still on the, oh, no,
I
sorry.
thought it was the origin story of the wool boy.
Yeah. I thought he was like, so, of course, he was walking, had a little whiskey,
He
fell
had
into
half
a
gallon of
cave.
whiskey, woke up and he was a lamb.
2 children of Frank Jewett of La Crosse, Wisconsin, went to sleep on the railroad track and were horribly mangled by a passenger train.
Well, that's
What? How did it happen, Dave?
only place to not go
Hold
to
on,
sleep.
Kyle. Let's learn some of the details. Dave, how did they get run over by a train?
They were asleep. They had been picking flowers and laid down to rest.
Absolutely. Okay. And then how did the train locate them?
Well, they were laying on the part where the train goes.
Uh-huh. I guess I'm a little confused how the train caused their death. You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen cartoons?
Not familiar. Anyway, these boys, they passed away from a train, you say? They were
Yes.
passengers upon it when the train crashed?
No, they were laying in front of it, sleeping, having a nap.
But how did they pass? I'm sorry, this story just doesn't track.
I like the
You're
idea
listening.
though that they were like, yeah, so we decided to just tie ourselves up in a big ball of rope, lay on these railroad tracks,
Now,
wait
like,
for a dashing hero.
parents in a 50-mile radius now have to add another conversation they have to have with their kids. If
Yeah.
you get tired picking and pressing flowers, don't sleep on the tracks, boys.
No, see, I think that's one of those unnecessary. This is why I want to have kids, because if I have to like sit you down and be like, listen, just if you're gonna sleep anywhere, don't do it in the middle of the freeway. It's
Yeah,
a really
call the
bad
herd.
idea.
You realize as a parent that all of the warnings and all of the things like don't hold that knife and put it in an electric socket, they're all for the dumb kids.
Excuse me, Dave. Some of them walk amongst us. It was good to hear that I couldn't have a plug-in radio in the pool. Okay, thank you.
Gareth just motioned with a pen. I thought he was going to put it into a light socket
It's
to prove
not
a
a
point.
pen. It's an ear cleaning kit.
Okay.
Which he
I'm not
holds
an
during
idiot.
podcasts now. Oh,
Yeah,
Christ.
he's conducting. He's casting spells on Dave.
The homeliest man in Cimarron is teaching the prettiest girl in Gray County to get sweet on him.
What? Pardon, called grooming. Hello. Not okay.
I like how now they're kind of just pitching like good reality shows. that
Yeah,
I
now
would
they're
watch.
just like, it's like a CBS sitcom.
This is just 90 Day Fiance.
It's called
pitching-
Homely and Hot. So his name's Jack Homely and she's Vanessa Hot.
He's a caveman from Kentucky.
Yeah, he's a woolly man from Kentucky.
She just divorced her husband, who was a bank robber, and she just got 200 smackaroons.
She thinks it's a rebound, but then she shaves him, and ooh la la.
Ooh la la. The predominance of redheaded people in Coffeeville is supposed to have something to do with the get-up-tiveness of that town.
Okay.
Get
What?
uptiveness?
Connect the dots.
Redheaded people are more
Watch it.
excitable and awful.
According
I think.
to who?
Well,
Kyle's
that's
also
just
red.
that's just
Stop.
biology.
Okay.
Stop. We
There-
will.
This is
we
why there
run in
has to
packs
be.
and we will
This
get
is
you.
why there has to be a purge.
My mom
guys-
is big. So my mom's a redhead, and she's really big into like redhead advocacy. Like redhead.
As if being redheaded isn't embarrassing enough. Just out in front of a store. We're the Reds, please support the Reds.
I remember she's posted before like a picture of like, you know, like Daphne from Scooby Doo and like all these like redheaded characters from pop
Mom,
culture.
one of those is a cartoon, but a hero nonetheless, Kyle. Daphne crawled so you could run.
Plenty of perfume, but no bathtubs.
Jesus Christ, these bullet pointers. I mean, you started with the long odyssey of the Ford Theater.
Plenty of
I know, right?
Now it's
tubs
tweets.
of what the fuck are they talking about?
The present craze for sweet scents, like all the other elegances, dates back to the days of courtly luxury in France.
By the way, it's 1893, so they're just like, any smell that's good, you're like, that's nice. That's addictive. I'm going to put this all over my balls, and you do the same with your twat.
It's gasoline, and they're like, this is so good. She smells beautiful. I'm passing out. Well, don't pass out near that railing. The whole building will fall over.
Hey, guys, I invented chloroform. Smell it.
Guys, I gotta go upstairs, smell this weird jar. Are the stairs safe yet? No, they won't be ever. Okay.
Madame Pompadour.
I've come up with a hairstyle.
I just can't believe her name is
Damn
Pompadour. Madame Pompadour spent $100,000 for this part of her toilet each year, and the court of Louis XV was known as the Scented Court.
Oh, my God. Wait, Dave, wait. Are we talking?
Royal urinal cakes?
Basically a toilet potpourri that's built in.
Yeah,
I believe that they're saying, yes, that
Louis the 15th, known for taking the grossest dumps, Louis the 15th had a toilet that wouldn't stink.
It took 500 clerks 3 years to crack the code to create a Glade plugin.
Louis the 14th was the Sun King, and the 15th was the Dung King.
What if we put roses next to your shit?
It won't be enough. I really take bad craps.
Use a layer of oil to trap it in.
hostesses of the grand entertainments informed their guests what particular perfume was to be employed for scenting the rooms.
Wow.
That no other odors might be used by the guests.
This is really good because my forever pasta is starting to smell weird. So if I could soak it in there for a little bit, that'd be killer.
This fucking
Do you guys mind?
And by the way, have you met Jack Macaroni? But think about smells when they're getting invented at this caliber, at this level. Like
Invented?
They've been around for a while.
Invented
well,
smells.
the tech is speeding up.
The tech isn't speeding up. This is insane.
You say inventing smells. These people's bodies are inventing some smells.
Well, I mean good smells.
Well, the Romans
Hold
were...
on. If you start doing Roman stuff on me again, Dave, I will drive to your house and curb stop
The Romans invented all the perfumes.
Romans.
Romans invented smell, Gareth.
They honestly might. By the way, Egypt's like, hello. We had bird gods.
Yeah.
At a court, a different perfume was prescribed for every day in the week. In the meantime, the gospel of soap and water was unknown to the finest ladies, and the gorgeous palace at Versailles did not contain a single bathroom until one was arranged for the use of Marie Antoinette.
Ugh.
So previous to that, all the little Richie fancies were just shitting out.
Marie goes, I got the cake shits. I'm going to need a whole room.
Yes. Oh my God.
Marie has to poop so bad we might need to put a hole in the house.
Oh, you guys, my cake is fucking destroying me.
She cups.
I think there was some lace in the cake. Somebody laced the cake with lace.
We don't need to hear your life story. Just go do it. Oh, about a fancy party, everyone having to go shit in a yard. Pardon me, darling. I have to go outside and crap.
It's a garden party.
Just like looks like Firefest.
Yeah, the things these gnomes have seen.
I'm actually just a child.
Oh, good.
New story.
Okay.
They wanted money. A paragraph has been round of the papers to the effect that several wealthy residents of Florence have offered to place their villas at the disposal of Queen Victoria for the summer. The fact is that every such offer which was received was accompanied by a demand for quite exorbitant rents. One residence being valued by its owner at the easy rate of $4,000 per week.
Oh my God.
Which back then is like 28
Dave's dogs are unionizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it is like, it's essentially what we deal with now, right? I mean, they basically were just like...
They're landlords.
Yeah, they're landlords, right?
Yeah, but $4,000 a week in 1890. What is this? 18...
I mean, this is like
crazy.
LA fire prices.
Yeah, I like the idea that you adjust 4,000 for inflation from the 1600s, and it's like still less than a one bedroom in Brooklyn today. Like, well, if you want to live in Bedford-Stuy, I mean, a lot of people want to live there, buddy.
It's also great to be like, we're offering Queen Victoria the place for as long as she wants it. Oh, well, that's very nice. Yeah, $4,000 a week, and that should be...
Yeah, I keep DMing Kesha my apartment for $38,000 a month. She keeps not getting back to me.
Is anyone... I called the label, but I guess they're not...
Okay.
They say they don't get involved
Dear
in that.
Queen Latifah, Your Highness, it would be my honor.
That's $146,000 a week.
That guy is, I'm negotiating. You push back with your own number.
Like a good number to start with.
It's called negotiating. I say 146 for a week. You say 50. I don't know.
You've
Let's play
seen
the
Shark
game.
Tank. You've seen Shark Tank,
Make an offer back.
We can play this game all fucking
Don't
day.
walk away. You say $1. We meet in the middle at $42K.
I mean, come on, you're a queen, right?
You're a queen, for the love of God. You need somewhere to cake shit.
The money is you. You are the money. It's just do you more. It's fine.
have printed or whatever, however it works.
I don't know how it works. I just want it.
Some guy paints it or something.
God. All right, last one.
All right.
Bananas as food.
Can you imagine a world in which such crazy sentences could be spoken?
We're just ending on the monkey times.
The thing normally used for choking babies we didn't want could be food.
Before they knew they could open them. Beneath the horrible peely rind actually exists quite a delicious dessert.
I finally gotten in one.
I like that this.
Before peeling, you just squish it. That's nice.
Yeah, it's the 1600s and we're still getting Chiquita propaganda right now.
It's the 1800s.
Okay, I don't know.
16.
Any time is before like 1980 could be this. It's all like the same 10 years.
What a fucking millennial.
The
When
banana.
Bill Clinton was in charge.
Yeah, if it came out before the Dana Carvey show, I don't know.
It's all the same.
It's all
year
the
at that
same.
point. What is this? 1400?
I do DCAD.
Yeah, Cleopatra, she was on Just Shoot Me, right?
Oh my God, Kyle. She was real must-see TV.
The banana seems to be as poor an article of food as the potato.
What the? Get fucked. I'm English and that's offensive.
I like how this opens with some real shade of like, could you imagine a loser eating a banana? Anyway,
They should be put in camps.
Okay, so the banana seems to be as poor as an article of food as the potato, which it greatly resembles.
Well,
Not at all.
What is this written by a blind, armless man?
No, this guy was like, they were going around and he was like, man, I just really need to get an article today. If I don't get an article, they're like, okay, we need somebody who's eating a lot of bananas. He's like, I can do it. They're like, you've had a banana, Joe? And he's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. The tree potato.
It's like it's the brown thing.
Well, they can get brown, but they're not.
You know, you take off the, peel off the, you peel
bake
off
them,
the
you put them
outside.
in gravy. I know it.
Yeah, mashed bananas.
Okay.
Yeah, you do mashed bananas or a baked banana or French bananas.
They start going, I think he knows more about bananas than we do, actually. Maybe he should.
He seems like he knows enough.
It contains 1.71% of albumoids.
Sure.
1.71%. They
of
help keep you white. A growing boy needs them.
Of albumoids, while the potato contains the same proportion. Man, under normal circumstances, requires 4.2 ounces of flesh-forming substances daily in order to obtain, which from bananas he would have to consume. Which from bananas he would have to consume 15 pounds of the fruit, containing 9 pints of water.
This is I am obviously, like all of us, very lost in what this guy's saying, but at least we know it's so inaccurate. It's crazy.
I do. Here's the thing. I don't trust anything he's saying, but I am hitting subscribe on this guy's tweets because he is doing some interesting math.
Rogan's like, really?
Yeah. This guy's like, did you know you actually have to eat 15 times all the bananas that even exist to get
A human boy needs 4.1 albinoids, otherwise his skeleton becomes his skin.
Yeah. Joe, did you know you need 42 midichlorians to reach ketosis?
Jamie, can you look up albumoids in potatoes?
Unfortunately, Jamie didn't eat enough bananas. He's now just bones.
Also, I like the idea that they're like, no, listen, whether or not bananas are healthy, we're not sure. We could put it up against the healthiest food of all, the potato.
Obviously, there's two foods, potatoes and bananas. Pick. What? You pick one.
We won't create superfoods for 200 years, but the potato's here.
I mean, essentially, they created a fake content in bananas, and then they said that people need a certain amount of that, so then you'd have to eat 15 bananas a day, 15 pounds of bananas a day, not realizing you can eat other food also. Like This article is saying you can't eat only bananas.
It really, well, I guarantee you that was the takeaway for a few people deceased shortly thereafter.
This writer's wife is a monkey, and he's like, I just feel like I gotta say something.
She keeps controlling the narrative. It's just the coroner. What got him, sir? Another boy just dead from nanners. How many did he eat? 17 pounds. These kids are so misinformed. No.
He's going, honey, I don't know who this John Campbell guy is writing this article, but this is a pretty interesting article, babe.
Hey, honey, you know you got to eat 15 pounds of bananas a day to live?
She's like,
all right, I understand.
Bananas then are unsuited to a man's diet, although a delicious accessory to a more nitrogenous food.
Nitrogenous.
I thought they were going to say, but it's fine for a woman to eat on occasion.
But it's all your wife should have. Holy fuck. Well, what a ride, as always. Kyle, thank you for joining us.
That was
People can go to
absolutely
Kyle
so
Anderson
much fun.
Comedy to watch your documentaries that are totally
great.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, check him out.
And Dave, I think you lost this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you're open to it. All right. See you guys at this banana aisle.
Bye.